What is going on, traders, and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. I'm glad to have you. On this channel, I go over key levels and catalysts that I'm focusing on, along with a watch list of stock tickers that I may trade. In this video, I'll be going over my watch list for the trading week of October 23rd, 2023. Let's get to it. Alright, first up, the catalyst. Now, it's a pretty slow week for the news that I'm interested in, besides the core PCE index on Friday. And for those of you who aren't familiar, the core PCE is a measure of what people in the US pay for goods and services. Now, just understand that this number does not include food or energy because of their price swings. Let's take a look at this week's earnings calendar. Alright, as you can see, we got a full slate of companies reporting this week, so many that I can't cover them all in one video. For additional company charts that aren't covered in this video, check out blazestocks.com for price levels that I'll be watching. Now, my top watches this week will be Tesla, Meta, and Boeing. Let's get started with the watch list. Alright, first up is the S&P 500 ETF, ticker symbol SPY, and here I have it pulled up on the weekly time frame. Now, last week when we were talking about the SPY and bear scenarios, I wanted to see that if it did end up selling off, if it was going to be able to hold $420. Well, it did, but more importantly, the SPY also broke a year-long uptrend that started back in October of last year and closed around $420. So in order for me to consider the SPY bullish, it has to get back above $422.50. If it does, then I'm looking for it to test the bottom of this weekly imbalance once again around $432.50. Now, on the bearish side, if SPY cannot hold 420, then it could end up anywhere in this highlighted area and could drop all the way down to around $406. So keep these levels on your watch list and let's see what happens. Up next is Tesla, ticker symbol TSLA, and here I have it pulled up on the weekly time frame. Now, last week when Tesla reported earnings and gave their guidance, it was evident that some investors didn't like what they heard, and as a result, it ended up selling off quite a bit and bringing the market down with it. Now, right now, Tesla's sitting around $212, but it's also sitting close to a prior support from back in May and June of last year and October of last year, where you can see it held about 4 weeks before selling off down to $100 before rallying back up. And as of recently, you can see this same area has held as support, and that's going to be around $206. So in order for me to consider it bullish, it has to hold 206. If it does, then the first level I'm looking for it to test is going to be around 220. If it gets above that, 235. Now, on the bearish side, if Tesla cannot hold 206, then the first level I'm looking for it to test is going to be that psychological $200 level. And if it can't hold that, down to around 187. If it can't hold 187, all the way down to around 163.50. So keep these levels on your watch list and let's see what happens. Up next is Meta Platforms, ticker symbol META, and here I have it pulled up on the weekly time frame. Now, the company reports earnings after the market closes on Wednesday, and right now the stock is sitting around $308.50. Now, looking at this chart, what I see is a cup and a handle, which is a bullish pattern. So if I'm going to play this to the upside, I want to see a break of $328. If it does, then the first level I'm looking for it to test is going to be around $350. And if you look left here, you can see this area has been a very strong resistance for the stock. But if it can break above $350, then I'm looking for it to test its all-time high around $385. Now, on the bearish side, if Meta decides it wants to sell off, then the first level I'm looking for it to test is going to be that psychological $300 level. If it can't hold that, 270. If it can't hold that, 240. So keep these levels on your watch list and let's see what happens. Up next is Microsoft, ticker symbol MSFT, and here I have it pulled up on the weekly time frame. Now, the company reports earnings after the market closes on Tuesday, and right now the stock is sitting around $326.50. Now, looking at this chart, it also has a cup and handle pattern going forward. So if I'm going to play this one to the upside, I want to see it get above $327. If it does, then I'm looking for it to run up to around $350. Now, on the bearish side, if Microsoft cannot get above $327, then the first level I'm looking for it to test is going to be around $315. If it can't hold that, down to around $296. So keep these levels on your watch list and let's see what happens. All right, and the last one we're going to look at today is Boeing, ticker symbol BA, and here I have it pulled up on the weekly time frame. Now, the company reports earnings before the market opens on Wednesday, and right now the stock is sitting around $180. So in order for me to consider it bullish, it has to hold $180. If it does, then the first level I'm looking for at the test is going to be around 192. If it gets above 192, then it can end up anywhere in this highlighted area, all the way up to around $218.50. Now, the bear scenario is what I'm really looking to play, because if you're not familiar with Boeing, this company has been struggling to become profitable. All right, its cash to debt ratio is 0.26, which ranks it worse than 68% of companies in the aerospace and defense industry, would suggest that it has a poor balance sheet. So any kind of bad news that they give off could make this company sell off hard. All right, so if it can't get above $180, then the first level I'm looking for at test is going to be around 171. If it can't hold that over the long term, I think this stock could end up all the way down to around $114. So keep these levels on your watch list, and let's see what happens. And that is the end of the video. If you find value in the videos that I publish, smash that like button and please consider subscribing to the channel. Also, if you're looking to get started with investing, check out the pinned comment in this video for a link to Webull, where you can get up to 12 free stocks for signing up and depositing just 1 penny. Now here's wishing you a prosperous week of trading, and until next week, talk to you later.